Hey, do you feel different? Do you feel unique? Well, I tell you why that is a good thing after the intro.
Free as a bird in the sky, that is what you are. Breathe and you know you're alive. Feel the beat of your heart. Well, life is a crazy way of turning everything upside down. So move with the time that you have. The world will keep spinning round. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
Hello, everybody. This is another episode of Your Time with Brian, and I am your host, Brian himself. And today we're going to talk about why it's not so bad to be different or special, because God intended for you to be different. As we go back to school, we will notice that we are not like everybody else, and that is not a bad thing. We should want to be different and unique, because that's the way God intended for us to be made. Listen to these verses about being different, made different. In Jeremiah 1 verse 4 through 5, it says, "The Lord gave me this message. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you was born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations." And then in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plan to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." You see, when God formed you in your mama's belly, He knew exactly where He was going to take you in life. We didn't know, but He did, because He is the maker, and He did form us in the way He intended. All through life, I never really understood why, of all people, I had to have a speech impairment. I didn't quite understand why He gave me that disability. But maybe there's a reason, and I know there's a reason why. And the last thing is, when I was born and I was going through high school, the last thing I thought He would use me as is to be a youth pastor and to stand up and deliver a message from God, and to do vlogs on a weekly or so basis. I never, in my wildest imagination in high school and college, I never imagined ever Him using me as, well, in this position, per se, I guess. And see, God can use you the same way. Sometimes we might think He's going to use us in this way or that way, but it turns all the way around, and He'll use you for something totally different. Think about the disciples. The majority of them was fishermen, right? They probably grew up thinking, "Hey, I'm going to be a fisherman. My daddy was a fisherman, so I'm going to be a fisherman." And then their world was flipped upside down, and then they became fisher of men, not fishermen, because God's calling was totally different than what they thought their gifts was. And I don't know if y'all ever saw a prism where you hold it up to the light and it reflects different lights. And I'll post a picture right here of a prism. And when a light reflects through a prism, it'll give different beautiful colors of light, but no light is the same. But that's just like us as far as our gifts goes. All of our gifts are different, but the light source from which it comes, which is Jesus, is the same source. And all because your daddy might be a preacher or your mom might be an outspoken evangelist, doesn't mean you're going to be just like them. Okay? The thing is, God is calling you to do something and be something specifically for you. And He might be using your weakness for His strength. And that's often what He does. Because for me, my weakness was my speech. And now He's using it as a tool. So never think, well, He won't ever use me in this instant. Because most likely He will. I mean, am I saying you're going to be a prison, jail ministry, a youth pastor, a pastor, a worship leader? I don't know. The thing is, God knows, and we got to be open and willing to accept that calling when it comes, because it will come. Because God made us for a reason. But our job is to have an open mind, an open heart, so when we hear His voice calling us or pursuing us, we need to follow. Because I love the illustration of the Bible verse, He stands at the door and knock. But on His side, if you see a picture, it won't ever be a doorknob on His side. It's always going to be on the side that is receiving God. Because He can't open the door. It's our job to open the door and receive His calling. So my message and encouragement for the week is this: be open and willing to receive God's calling. Because when you do, and when you know it's from God, you will receive a blessing. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification button. I will really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you later. Be blessed.